Guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a quick update and talk a little bit more about my life since I came out 3 months ago saying that I was fighting depression. I wasn't exactly sure how to capture my depression because I wasn't exactly sure how to deal with my depression. So I did vlog it kind of because it's really hard to sit down and talk face to face and say certain things like, I have depression, I feel sad, I feel suicidal, I feel whatever. It has a lot of stigmatisms against it. A lot of people say, oh, it's, you're okay, or you should try exercise, you should try this, that, which are all great things to try. But when you've done all you can, when you've done all you can. Wasn't exactly sure how to bring it to you guys, but I knew that I wanted to bring it to you guys. I knew that I wanted to speak upon it because I felt like it needed to be said. It needed to be talked about, and and other mothers need to know that they're not alone and what they were going through, or that you're not a bad person, basically, or you're not a bad mom, just because you're going through what you're going through. Sit down and talk a little bit more about what were my red flags, what happened to me, and share my story. Hopefully my story can kind of, if someone hears like, oh, that's me, maybe it can help. Now, first things first, like I said in my other updates and stuff like that, I'm not going to tell you what medication I'm on. And the reason I'm not going to tell you what medication I'm on is because I don't want you to try to get on the same medications that I'm on. I want you to go to your therapist or your psychiatrist or your doctor and get evaluated just like I did, and they will tell you what's works best for you. It is definitely a process. It takes time. Anything that you want done right always takes time. It's no quick fix. It's just not. What I will do is link all the crisis hotlines down below, and also where I went. For instance, if you are in Baltimore and you would like to contact the location that I went to, I will link everything. It's so hard. Like, this is like my heart. Like, I feel like my heart is about to jump out my chest. I don't know why. So after I had Aiden, I was doing really, really good. Still had a lot of ups and downs and peaks and valley moments. And but it just got to the point where I just wanted it to be like, I know that everything's not going to be perfect. I have 3 little kids, but it got to the point that when I was down, I was down. Like, I was down to the point where I would not get out of bed. I was down to the point where I couldn't function enough to do anything, brush my teeth, comb my hair. It just seemed like everything was just so much. I just could not, it was like so many things in my head at one time talking. It was like just 3,000 people in your head talking, and you can't get any of them to shut up, is basically what it felt like. It was like, oh, you have to wash dishes. Oh, you have to get the kids ready. Oh, you want to straighten here. Oh, you want to do that. And nothing got done. It's really funny because I actually go back and I watch older vlogs and I can see the madness. I was always cleaning up, yet if you look at those old vlogs, because we were daily vlogging also back then, or kind of daily vlogging, it was always a mess. It was always a mess because I could not concentrate on one thing long enough to get one task done. It was just boom, 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 boom. Like I said, days that I could not get out of bed. And, a lot of people say, oh, you're lazy, or you got 3 kids, you should be tired, or you're dramatic. And don't get me wrong, I have the flair for the dramatics. So don't get me wrong. But I knew that the flair of the dramatics wasn't enough when there were moments when I actually would drop a bowl of cereal and I would literally go in the room and close the door and cry in the corner and call J-Row, because I'm just like, she dropped the cereal, just feeling like my heart once again was going to jump out of my chest, or just needing help, like to the point where one time I really remember I was making the kids macaroni and cheese, and I saw this boiling pot, and I just thought, if I stick my hand in this boiling pot, they would have to take me to the hospital and someone would have to help me, right? So once I got there, I'm just like, wow. And I mean, I was just looking at that pot, and that option of that pain leading to maybe somebody helping me was maybe, it looked pretty good. Like, okay, that's an option, instead of just sitting here and suffering in silence. A lot of people or family members and friends, when they watch this, may be in shock because I am not the type of person who goes about and tells everybody I'm depressed. The only person that really knew, like, really the deep down, dirty, grimy part of it was J-Rel. J-Rel saw me at my weakest. It was times where J-Rel would actually have to get up, go to work, take Alana to school, come home during his lunch break, to bring home food to feed us because I couldn't get out of bed. I could not function. Feed us, go get Alana, bring Alana back home from school, and then go back to work, come home, and still have to bring home dinner. Like, that happened. That happened sometimes for like a week straight, and then a light switch would come on. That's how I felt. It's like a light switch would come on, and then boom, I'm okay. And then, but just as quick as that light switch could come off, that light switch could go off, and I would be down for the count. So I felt very helpless because when I did finally, I went through the juice fast thing, and I did the juice fast, and the juice fast really helped. Juicing really helped me. It really made me feel good. But I knew I needed the juice fast thing is when I started doing the Mama Mixers. And the Mama Mixers is a great group of women, and these women have such a place in my heart because I decided that I want to do the Mama Mixers. I reached out to these people, and these women trust me, and they say, yeah, I will do this with you. And I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that I wanted, put a face, a different spin on YouTube mommies. I just felt like, we have one bracket, but I wanted to be a whole genre of different women, and I knew these women were great women, and I wanted to work with them. But that was doing what I am now been diagnosed with bipolar 2, because, I'm an underachiever. I can't even get bipolar 1. No, just joking. But bipolar 2, and what I am now finding out is that I have what's called manic episodes where I'm happy. I'm super happy. I feel like I take on the world. I could put all 3 kids on my back and travel up the world. And then I have these low points where I feel like I can't. Breathing and walking is complicated at the same time. Like, she can't walk and chew bubble gum. That was me. I felt like we could do anything. We're the Mama Mixers and we're going to take over. And that was great. And then I saw it starting to crash. The first person that I kind of lashed out where I was going down was Lee Howe. I think I was putting up a vlog, and she just made a criticism like, oh, Tanya, you should do it this way, where, that wouldn't mean nothing to me. I love, tell me, help me make my channel better or make this channel better. But at that time, I was in such a low point when she said it, just felt like, oh, you're so bad a vlogger. You don't know what you're doing. And I, snapped on Lee Howe, and I just feel so guilty for that. But anyway, it got to the point where I just couldn't do it. And I felt so guilty. But when I tell you, Sarah, Lee Howe, Loretta, Shirley, they never judged me. They never, when I told them what I was going through, when I finally said that I was fighting depression, they were just like, get yourself together. And they took on what I basically started, which was extra work for them because these ladies already had their channel. They took it on and they ran with it, and they do such a great job. And I felt so guilty because it was something that I wanted to do, but I just could not do it because I couldn't function to do anything for a long period of time. Maybe for a couple of weeks I was good and then I was off. And you can't, when you're doing something or you're trying to run something, you can't be like that. And I knew it. It's like it was almost like watching myself do stuff, but I could not stop myself. I'm telling myself, I'm like, Tyan, I could feel it coming, like, Tyan, it's about to get bad. It's about to get bad. Fix it. And I could not fix it. I wanted to go and get help. And when I got help, I don't know if it's just Baltimore where I am, but first thing they ask you, do you have a drug and alcohol problem? And when you say no, it's kind of like, you're just a mom. You're okay. You're fine. You don't need any help. And I did. I desperately needed the help. And I talked about it on one of my vlogs, and one of my subscribers, which she's everything to me. She told me about the Apex Center, and I went there, and they just immediately jumped on it, and they helped me. And now I go see him every 4 or 5 weeks. I'm monitored. They did raise my dosage slowly because this is not something, like I said, that I just wanted a quick fix. I wanted to do things slowly. And there are pros and cons to everything. But the pro to this is I have a routine. I can get up and I know, okay, I'm going to make my bed, and then I'm going to get the kids ready. And as tiny as that might seem, I can get it done. I can clean up the living room and then move to the dining room, move to the kitchen, where before I couldn't. I'd be doing something in the living room, and then I run and do something in the kitchen, and then I run and do something in the dining room. And no place would actually be 100% clean because my mind was always like going crazy, like, master, a jack of everything, a master of nothing, like that. Dealing with my kids where, Alon or Ava can do something, and now I can be like, oh, sit down, calm down. And don't get me wrong, you're a mom, you're going to have rough days, but it's not to the point where I am just calling J. Ross sobbing, because I can't deal with chips being on the floor or I it was just a lot of stuff. I can say, hey, I'm tired and take a nap and get up and, I can function is basically what I'm trying to say. I can function as a mother and as an adult, and that's the point of it all, is to be able to function for your kids and for yourself. A couple of other vloggers, I found like two people that I really like, and I'll link their channels below. And I actually had to I was listening to them talk, and I'm like, wow. You when you're in it, you're in it, but when you're out of it, you forget. And sometimes today, even when I was about to film this, and I was just thinking about what I wanted to say or how I was going to present it to you guys, it just was like, wow, that was bad. I was in a really, really bad place. So there are a couple cons. The cons to it is that they do have insomnia, which the medication I'm taking can give you insomnia. Stop it. Insomnia, and I've been having a lot of headaches. Now, I think the headaches are more brought on due to the fact that of not enough sleep and having to deal with the kids and things like that. But it's very, very, and because it is a slow active in the way that I'm doing it, it kind of creeps up on you that you're like, hey, I didn't forget about that. Like, you have to think about it because it's not like bam overnight. Like, things slowly starts to make sense, and you start to understanding, and you start seeing yourself just functioning better as a parent, as a wife, as a mother, as a friend. Just things just start to just seem like, okay, I can do this. If you don't follow us on our daily vlog channel, you probably don't know that we end up having to move in with my mother-in-law, and I just have to just be like, but God, because if this would have happened, I've been on it 3 months. If that would have happened maybe 6 months ago, there's no way I would have been able to deal. It's no way I would have been able to deal, move my kids out, pack up my stuff, move in with my mother-in-law, and still be here talking to you, smiling. I would have been under the bed, just TKO. But he never puts more on you than you can deal with. This is not a jumbled, rumbled mess. I hope that I basically what I'm basically just trying to say is that if you are suffering from depression, if you do feel any of those signs or any of those symptoms, don't just push them to the back burner. Don't just think, oh, okay, well, this is just a bad week. Next week be a better week. If you're noticing that you're having bad months, like if you notice that you maybe for 2 weeks you're okay, but for the rest of the month you're not, no, I don't think that that's normal. And, and I'm not saying that you have to take medication, but you could talk to a therapist. Apex Center has wonderful therapists, and they have therapy, and the lady is so, so nice. You could talk to your pastors. You could talk to anybody, but you need to talk and you need to say something. One thing I think is just horrible, and my dad said it to me, and it clicked, and he said, women hurt internally. They deal with their crisis internally, and what we do is that we sit here and we say, "You're a bad mom. You're a bad wife. You're lazy. You're fat. You're this. You're that." Where men deal with their thing externally, so it's always somebody else's fault. Like, oh, if my wife would have packed my lunch, or oh, if the kids didn't leave the car, it's always blaming it on somebody else. And what that is when you do it internally, you're just suffering in silence, and that silence is just heartbreaking. That silence of not telling your friends or not telling your spouse and not telling anybody, hey, I'm here and I'm hurting and I'm not living. I'm alive, but I'm not living. I'm dying here, people. Like, someone help me. It's okay to raise that flag to get help to get to the next spot. Like, don't feel guilty for that. If you have to say, hey, stop the bus, stop this train, I need help, trudging along in the trenches by yourself. You don't have to do that. Across my channel and you yourself don't fight with depression or bipolar or any of these things, but you know somebody who does, or if your wife or girlfriend does, your support is everything. There is no way I could have done this without J. Rob. When I tell you he was at every doctor's appointment, and he took Alana to and from school, and he went and he got dinner, and he dealt with days where I didn't want nobody to touch me, like that. Not touch like even being, touchy feely. I mean, just don't touch me, don't breathe on me, don't look at me. And he still dealt with all of that. And then I had the guilt from knowing that I was being so standoffish and being so mean that it made me even more standoffish because I felt guilty about how standoffish I was being. Be there for them. Just be there for them. A lot of people are like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. It doesn't really matter. You're not a professional. It's probably nothing that you really can say except listen and just understand and be there. And that's just enough. Just be there and just understand. Like, don't make them feel guilty. Please, please. You don't understand the level of guilt we already have. Like, you don't have to tell me, honey. I already know. Like, there's nothing you can say to me to make me feel any worse than probably the stuff that I'm already saying to myself. So this is, sometimes I look at you and I'm like, why, you think, why are you here? Why did you stick around? What are you doing? Kind of give him the shifty eye. But he was definitely there. He still is here. And, and just like I probably put up with some stuff where he could have been like, hey, why do you put up with me? Just because you do have this, don't think that you owe somebody something because they stuck with you, because knowing you probably stuck with them through something. So, good people attract good people is how it really works. So I pray that this reaches someone and gives them some hope that it can get better. I hope it reaches someone and lets them know you are not alone. And even though you're crazy, you're not crazy. Like, you're not crazy. You do feel this. You're not being dramatic. Like, it's not all in your head, even though it is all in your head. But it's happening, and I need help. And it's okay to say, I need help. It's okay to go out and get the help you need. Speak your truth. This is my truth. This is my truth. And you just need to speak yours. So I will see you guys in the next one.